Man, and a battle of good on good in a SWAC conference East that's already claimed. Who's gonna win? Y'all already know. Y'all know who I'm pulling for, and y'all already know. It's always it's gonna be Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does! And that might be the knockout punch.
All right, greetings, salutations. Another episode of Fangs up here, and it's getting exciting, Rattler Nation. If you haven't already heard the news, uh, SWAC champions in college football in the Southwest Athletic Conference reside in Tallahassee, Florida. Just one more time for the people in the back. I'm not petty. You are. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. I'm definitely petty. But welcome to the show, y'all. Today, got a little good on good. Like, this is one of those games. Not gonna lie to you, I thought about a different title, but I was like, this is good on good. So if you play football, you're definitely familiar with the idea of the term where the coaches will be like, we got a little good on good today. You know, best offense, best defense, two of the top offenses and are seen in this game. But you got the best offense versus the best defense. It's gonna be kind of interesting to see. But before we get to that, FAMU tennis. It's gonna be a little up the road from me, up in D-Land, playing Stetson. Got a little Friday, I believe through Sunday action going on. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they do. You know, FAMU tennis. Hopefully, we can defend that SWAC championship. Just saying. Say it for the people in the back, just for those who forgot, the defending SWAC champions in the sport of tennis reside in Tallahassee, Florida. I'm Big Petty. But the volleyball team, they got a little trip to Mississippi. They're going to be playing Mississippi Valley State and Jackson State. And they're at 500. So if you're a regular, you already know. Look, my pom-pom ain't ready, but I would be over here. We 500. Y'all know if it's not football, we above 500, I'm celebrating. Turnup's real. Because we see with scheduling and X, Y, and Z in the third, excuses. Underfunded research, so whatever. 500 is a mark. All right, that's a mark of achievement for this program in most HBCUs. So Saturday, they're going up to Edabina. Ooh, Lord, that's a long ride. Hopefully they fly up to Jackson and then just ride over, but I kind of doubt it. And then same thing, Jackson State Sunday. So it would really be nice if they clustered this in Jackson and had like Pine Bluff, FAMU, and a couple other schools, just go to one location or move to Mobile, something like that. Something just closer. Go for it. Here we go. Like, nice little meeting place in the middle. Maybe get them to fund it. I'm gonna leave that out there. Now, what y'all came here to see though, and what y'all probably can't talk about, this football team. And again, one more time for the people in the back, the SWAC East champion, Florida A&M University football team. Oh, Jackson State. Should have been talking all that trash for 2 years. We own y'all like white on rice. But in this game, you got some good on good in this game. And it's really at a critical time, especially when you start looking at Alabama A&M just comes off of losing their big game. They lose arguably the most important game of the season against Alabama State. Like, that's a deal. That's something that, full stop. You can stop right there and just end the conversation. Like, they lost to their rivals, and now they got the Rattlers coming up there. But if you go back to last year, this was a game. Like, last year's game in Tallahassee was a pretty solid game, and it was one that you could easily choose to remember. Like, it was definitely one of those games where you kind of look back at it and you start looking at the tail of the tape, and this Alabama A&M team isn't overly dissimilar from last year's team, but I heard Kelvin say something last night at ONG. I didn't get to hear all of it, but I was listening. This is a game where Maynard's maybe trying to avoid the hot seat. Like, let's just go ahead and go there. Go watch the last coach's show for Alabama A&M. There's a lot of melancholy in that. Like, when you're just listening to Maynard talk about the game, not a lot about, we're Bulldog. Y'all saw that ignorance? Like, it was funny. And excuse me for calling it ignorance, but it was funny. But you kind of got the point. Like, he tried to hype up the fans. Like, he tried to get his inner Bulldog out. But right now, man, Bulldogs just be sitting there quiet with their jowls. Yeah, it's kind of that face right now, man. It's a lot of like, what the heck is going on right now? Because you're 4-4. It's some of those, okay, you lost to Vanderbilt. That was supposed to happen. You lost to Southern. You lost to Dooley. You lost to Jackson State. That was a close game, though. You lost to Alabama State, though. You were supposed to win that. Like, and you scored 16 points in the game. That's alarming. Like, just saying, that's very alarming when we're over here looking. And they were number one scoring. Let me double check. Still are. As far as like touchdowns, points, they're leading. Now, some of that's padded because they went over Tuskegee and slapped the sugar out of them. 58-3. You dropped 31 on Pine Bluff. You dropped 51 on Lane. So, I mean, between two Division II teams, you got 109 points. Those stats are a little inflated. All right, so when you're just looking at it straight up good on good, it's not as impressive. I mean, you look at the Southern game, they scored 10 points. Jackson State, I give them credit. They got 30. So Grambling, you got 24. But Alabama State, you got 16. And the problem with that, man, these defenses for FAMU and Alabama State are very similar. Like, go back and watch that FAMU Alabama State game. Each team has a linebacker that's that dude. Like, you got Isaiah Major, you got Bubba for Alabama State. Not to, revisit the past, but to go over and look and compare similar opponents. Like, sometimes we will talk about because this team beat this team, that team's better, even though the two teams didn't play. In this case, what I'm saying is Alabama State's defense is extremely similar to FAMU's defense. If you just look at style of play, hard hitting, you got a major linebacker in the middle. Like, see what I did there? Some of y'all can catch it on the way home. But you can start to see that this is a matchup that is going to potentially cause some problems, but that you should really be paying attention to for multiple reasons, though. As stated, granted, I sure put a whole asterisk in there because I just poked a gigantic hole in my argument. Alabama A&M has the number one offense in the conference. FAMU has the third best offense in the conference. Okay, you can knock our schedule all you want to, We played West Florida, but I think you put West Florida in the SWAC, I think they might be like 5th or 6th place. I'm just being real. Like, I don't think West Florida is that bad. If we're gonna be nice and be honest about it, that's it. That's your only Division II team. We haven't got to Lincoln yet, so we can't claim the stats. So I give FAMU's 3rd best offense in the conference a little more credit and a little more credence because it was against better talent. But we're able to see first versus 3rd scoring offenses, and then for the scoring defense, Alabama A&M 6, kind of middle of the pack. FAMU's in 1st. But again, you kind of go back when you're starting to look at that kind of stuff. And we're gonna get more into the nerdy side of this today. Like, so if you're in a nerd, hey, it is what it is. But you look at what they did against Southern. FAMU's defense and Southern's defense are very similar. And that's, to me, if I'm Willie Simmons, those are 2 games I'm really looking at. I'm looking at the Southern games film. I'm also looking at the Grambling. Lord. Alabama State film. Sorry. So Alabama State and Southern. Because really, those 2 defenses are very similar to FAMU's defense. And those are 2 teams where, just go back and watch the games, they gave FAMU problems. Like, as far as offense versus defense, you could see that. I think in this game, if I'm being honest, this is another one of those games I don't need Musa to be anything more than a game manager. I mean, last game, he's got a fumble and a pick. Granted, we gave him the fumble, but was it completely his fault? Nah. But, as stat people, we did. I'm just being honest with you. Like, I could lie to you. I can tell you the truth. Y'all know me. I'm going to try to keep it a buck with you all day. But at the same point, those are 2 games I'm really looking at when I'm comparing what they were like as far as defensively. But then I'm going to go look and see how do we do against those teams. FAMU drops 26 on Southern, close win. FAMU drops 23 on Alabama State, another close win. So is this Alabama A&M defense like that? No, they're not the best. I ain't gonna say what my cousin said, but Kelvin's not completely wrong. They struggle to stop a good offense. And again, the data says that. Y'all know how I am about that. You can argue with your mama if you want to, but you can argue with these numbers. Against Southern, they gave up 20 points. Not bad. Against Pine Bluff, they won, but they gave up 24 points. Against Jackson State, boy, that was a 45. Whew. Against Grambling, 24. Against Alabama State, 31. So you're starting to kind of see when they're playing good on good and they're playing teams that really measure up really well against them, they tend to struggle. And they also are at a point where they're not really playing for anything other than pride. Are you trying to save Carnell Maynard's job? I don't know. Because I'll be honest, I don't disagree with Kelvin that Maynard's probably coaching for his job at this point. But I also don't completely agree. Because it's not that who you're going to replace him with mindset. Because I'll be honest, between me, you, and the gatepost, I'm going to Columbia, South Carolina to talk to somebody. It could be Allen. It could be Benedict. But one of them, I said, look, I'm in that Denzel Washington. I'm coming away with something. I'm from around the way. It's like, and that's just how it is. Like, if that's the move you're going to make on Maynard, I'm not even going to lie to you. That's an in-season move. Like, whew, we're not going to make it to 500? And do I think you should get rid of Maynard? Not really. Because I don't hit that who's going to do better reset button. But I do hit that he's kind of figured out a lot of this. The next part, you got to get the rest of it. You got to get that overall buy-in from the stakeholders. You got to get a consistent crowd. It's just some more things that need to happen there. You got to kind of figure out where you fit in, just as a team, and you got to figure out recruiting, and that may take a new voice. But at the same point, I don't know if now's the time for that. Now, as far as we're gonna, we sticking to the football right now. The scoring defense, like I said, Alabama State 6, FAMU's first. You got the best defense going against the best offense, scoring wise, statistically. This is something where I'm not gonna lie to y'all. If I'm Willie Simmons, I'm in the back of their head. I'm sitting there. I'm in their ears. I'm selling it. Like, I don't talk about who they played. I don't mention the schedule. I'm just pointing directly to numbers. This is the best offense versus the best defense. What you gonna do? I mean, I got the third best. Moose is over there. And we're gonna talk about Moose. Oh, trust and believe. We're gonna talk about the Moose. But what y'all gonna do? Can you stop them? Can you stop the best? I'm doing all that coach speak. And honestly, I'm pointing to the numbers. Who's really in first place? Who's the best? If you got the best defense, you got to show me. I done seen some good stuff. Griffey got picks. This guy got picks. I'm listening to everybody. But I'm over here. Look, I'm calling names. And I'm talking trash a little bit. On the sidelines, look, it's Thursday night. All week I've been talking. Man, this dude, man, you gonna let them mouse you again? Look, oh man. I'm picking into that little bit of ego that some of these guys have, because honestly, this is the last good team you're gonna play. Like, after this, it's Lincoln. It might as well be Lincoln High School from 3838 Trojan Trail. You got Cookman. Cookman's feisty, but they're not really a good team. They're struggling a lot, and it should be. Like, it's not even a slight. That's not a slight to the program. First year coach, replacing a lot of players. They play really hard. They're just not really good. Look, I mean, I know what Tim Tebow said, but in this case, I'm not looking ahead, but I'm just being honest. Hard work beats talent when talent don't work as hard. But at this point, y'all can work all day and all night. You still gonna catch that L. So this is the last game of the season. That's significant. That you are playing a significant opponent. The classic is obviously significant because it's a classic, and we play, that school over there on the world's most famous litter box. But at the same point, this is the last time for you to put some really good film out. Like that's part of my selling pitch. That's my point. I'm pushing that, and I'm telling the players, like, yo, they got this guy, they got that guy. I'm hyping some of their guys up, even if he ain't that good. And I'm gonna really say, this is the last time you're gonna put some really good film out there, like against a decent team. Now, excuse me. Now with Cookman, when that game comes, I got that argument ready because it's a classic. You can't lose to your rivals. But for this one, I'm selling that. Like, that's something I'm going with, and I'm challenging Musa first because, man, look, I walk up to Musa and I ain't gonna lie, I'm petty. I'd be the bought a Moose hat. And I'd be like, look, I'm your biggest supporter. You see that? Moose, you the man. I need you to show it though. Like, look, you first place everything. Come on. First place in passing attempts. So hey, I'm trusting you with the ball. But like, hey, team ride or die with the Moose. Average yards per game. Guess who's leading? The Moose. Completions per game. Even when people drop 17 passes in a game, who's leading? The Moose. Who leads the SWAC in touchdowns? The Moose. Who leads the SWAC in yards? The Moose. I'm just saying, like, this is just me. I'm hyping him up. I want him coming in the game, and y'all know I don't like the whole locked in thing, but locked in. I want him focused. And I want him saying, hey, you got pro scouts asking about you. I need you to fix these turnovers. But, if they drop a ball or two, look, I defended you on that. If I'm Simmons, I'm telling him, I had your back. If don't nobody else got Moose's back as me, that's Ryan Stanley. What happened to him when he was scuffling? Hook. Look at what happened to Rashawn McKay when he was struggling. Hook. Look, how many games you been pulled in? Okay. So who got your back? Who's supporting you? All right, I'm there. I think that's something you're definitely doing because you got the better quarterback in the game, even though the statistics don't show it as far as like overall total offense points wise. But every other stat, it's the Moose, and it's not close. Now the running game, it's ways before you get down to a FAMU running back. It's like 300 yards total. Ain't gonna be no 1,000-yard rush this year, man. Unless we have like a field day against somebody. And that's honestly, man, I walk in the running back room. I'm talking about that. I'm pointing straight to the numbers. I'm like, yo, gentlemen, you better hit the hole with some fire because y'all, we ain't hit 500 yards. And we played how many games? Like, I don't have a 500-yard rusher out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, and I ain't got a 500-yard rusher yet. I'm just, and that's not me. Like, I'm not bashing the kids. I'm just saying, like, I'm hyping them up. I like going into this game. I want them coming off that bus seeing what? I want them seeing red. I want when you see a red jersey, I'm running through a mother lover. Like, that's just something I'm doing. Offensive line. You saw what you did last week, and the starting center didn't play. He was on the sideline in jumpsuit. So you got the potential. Like, we got to hype those kids up. Like, but then defensively, look, you the best defense in the conference. You got to prove it. I want to see it. I'm like your boy, the comedian. Prove it. You the best defense in the SWAC. Prove it. Now, come on. Y'all know I got data. I got numbers. Isaiah Major, he leads the conference in solo tackles. He's tied for 5th for tackles for a loss. Look, Major, I ain't saying nothing to him. I was just gonna let him ride by. He was like, head nod, game, recognized game. Now, Anthony Dunn, and that dude's a problem. Like, this dude looks like he did in the Florida Classic. He leads the conference in sacks. 2nd place for tackles for a loss. And all of a sudden, like, that's my hype plan. But then you also tell the players some of the things they're going to expect. Like, as far as for Musa, we know the weather in Huntsville is probably going to be a little cooler. And y'all know what? Y'all know. I can't just say it, not make sure I'm right because I'm petty. So it's probably going to be a little cooler. We can confirm. Waiting on the Weather Channel to load up. You can blame Byron Allen on that. Y'all know that brother owns the Weather Channel? That dude, man, no mistakes. No mistakes made with that one. See, Huntsville, Alabama. Really, the school's in Normal, but we just say Huntsville because, we're probably kind of lazy. And it's just easier that way. There we go. It's 48 degrees right now. Y'all know Florida boys don't like cold, especially the ones from South Florida. Like me, I don't care, but I'm different. All right, I'm like 2 Chainz. I'm different. Pull up that 10-day forecast, check right quick, and I ain't gonna show you this stuff. So, 48, 40s. Look, y'all. Saturday, high of 73, low of 42. Run the ball. All right, that's what it's saying to me. You run the ball as best as you can and get out of there. All right, and that's just honestly, that's where I'm at with it. Like, I like our ability with the screen game, but I definitely feel that FAMU can one score some points because when you're looking at this, you start going position for position. And for me, what I did was I looked at the stats. I instead of just like I tried to watch. I watched the last game. I watched the expedited Magic City Classic, and then I watched one of their previous games as well, just to kind of get a vibe for what they were. Yeah, I don't know what they are, but you look at their stats, they don't know what they are. Like the quarterback's kind of middle of the road as far as statistically. Running backs are kind of high up there, like fifth. But the problem is when you start looking like the fourth best rushing team in the conference, that's solid. Passing, they're third. They're kind of balanced, scoring the first place. But they played two Division II teams and they dropped 50 on both of them. So it's like, okay, what's really real here? And I think that's some of the issue with Alabama A&M as a team is there's so much ambiguity that's associated with them. Just do they know what they want to be? Do they know what they are? I think they're more of a run-first team at this point. But at the same point, if you're a run-first team against this defense, it's not going to work. Like we saw where Prairie View was able to run the ball for a while. But once FAMU shut that down, it was dead. It was over. You were not running the ball against this team. You weren't going to have any success. And all of a sudden, you had to throw the ball. And once FAMU made Alabama A&M throw the ball, Prairie View throw the ball, that's when the turnovers started happening. And honestly, Bowler almost got a pick earlier in that game. He just, kind of dropped it. Similar game plan. Like, if I'm Alabama A&M, I'm definitely trying to run the ball directly at FAMU. But if I'm FAMU, I'm anticipating a balanced offense. Like as much as we talk about the offense for Alabama A&M and Maynard being a very pass-heavy coach, in actuality, he's very balanced over the past couple of years. Like his offense is very, we're going to try to run the ball, we're going to try to pass the ball, but very balanced yardage-wise. And it comes out pretty even. So what you're going to see in this game, I think it's more of the same and part of the course. I don't think you can get anything different from Cardell Maynard in this team. I think you're going to get a very balanced football game. He's going to try to establish a run, which go back and watch last year's game. They had some success doing. Like last year, they lose the game, but early on, that game was tight. And the year before, FAMU needed a little bit of, grace and mercy to get out of that. So this isn't a team that you just dominated in the last two meetings. It's a team where it was squeakers. Like we was over this and there was some wringing of hands like, man, we're going to get through this. Like the previous year, 35-31 up there. And you had a decent contingency of fans up there. Last year, what was it? I'll pull it up. Y'all know. I argue with data. I don't argue with you about numbers and stats and stuff. 38-25. So all of a sudden, you can see that this game's probably going to be kind of close. When the team plays away, 4 points to the home team because, that's just the home field advantage. But then this is my big thing. And we're going to go into the picks. And I'm going to give you our prediction for this one. I think FAMU wins. I don't trust Alabama A&M's offense. I know they're balanced, but you can also sense a frustration in Connell Maynard. Just listening to him talk, there's a frustration. And when you listen to the post-game, some of the stuff he was doing post-game was complaining. Like he was just telling you, like, I don't like how this is working. I don't like how this looks, X, Y, and Z, and third. It's just one of those times where for me, I just felt like it could have went better. And that's what you're going to get from him at this point. And I think in this game, it's going to be hard for complacency not to set in. I think FAMU wins the game. Let's just be honest. Don't remember my old score. not pulling it up in this moment. I'll pull it back up later. I'm gonna check. Y'all gonna check the host. We're gonna check the host. I think FAMU wins this one 38-20. I just think FAMU's offense is going to be too much, but I think we take our feet off the gas a little bit. We still have played 4 good quarters of football. We got 3. Homecoming, you got 3 in a piece. You know, you got 3 of the possible. You know, 3 of the possible. But you ain't had a whole 4. You ain't had 4 books. We had 3 in the possible. And right now, that's okay. I can take 3 in the possible. All right, so before we get too far up out of here, let me make sure look, my picks this week, and if you are riding with me and rocking with me, I'll show y'all last week. Y'all know, again, I stand on business. We were 5-0. I don't think I got to show it to y'all, but it was Alcorn, Grambling, Jackson, FAMU, and Southern. Boy, Jackson and Southern, y'all sure didn't want to help a brother out. Now, this week, I got Morgan State. I'm just saying, I got Morgan State. Morgan State is playing Delaware State. That's close to taking a Division II team against an BST or FCS team as you can get. I avoid A&T like to play because I don't trust them people. FAMU over Alabama A&M, I'm definitely taking that, largely because I think FAMU is hitting their stride at the right time. Southern and Alcorn, I ain't touching that. That game is too tight. To me, if you're taking that, you have to take it, and you're probably emotionally invested in this one. The reason I'm not taking Alcorn and Southern, I don't trust Dooley. But at the same point, I don't know about Alcorn's offense. I think they're another team that's kind of figuring it out, but are they going to be consistently there and where I need them to be? Not for me to take them. Prairie View, Pine Bluff, I should probably take Prairie View. If I was you and it was your money, I would take Prairie View. I don't know what the spread is, but if somebody's offering you straight up Prairie View versus Pine Bluff, take it. Jackson State versus Texas Southern, I probably shouldn't do it, but if there's no Andrew Body, I'm taking Jackson State. That team, that man might catch that axe at the end of the year. Y'all about to see me do a live change right here. What we about to do, because what we're not gonna do, we're gonna go on and take this Howard. I got Howard over South Carolina State because I don't trust South Carolina State. That offense is pitiful. Them dudes, what? Them turkeys suck. Like, I'm sorry. Respectfully, trash. I'm not doing it. I got Howard, and if you had to put some money on it and it was at a decent rate, man, come on. North Carolina Central, because they got the best quarterback in HBCU sports. I'm sorry. Their defense, I don't know about. But that quarterback, that boy good. Tennessee State, Charleston Southern, I ain't touching that. I don't know enough about Charleston Southern, and I don't trust Tennessee State that much. Granted, I like the season they're having, and I want them to win every game, especially because they ain't playing FAMU, and there ain't no shot in the world of them playing FAMU. But I ain't gonna lie, I get to Georgia a few years. You might have that program kind of looking like something. The biggest problem, though, their attendance is butt cheeks. They need to get back in the hail as soon as possible because 3,000 people in NFL Stadium, garbage. Grambling, Alabama State. I had Grambling. Man, I jumped off that real quick. You seen that with your own 2 eyes. I had Grambling. Man, I don't trust that. Something about Alabama State. That defense, man, that boy Bubba, that white boy is good. Like, something about that game right there, that made me move. Y'all know how I should feel about Grambling's coach. I don't trust him. I had to switch sides. I'm sorry. I guess I'm loyal, baby. But I was getting up out of that. Man, please. Let me get up out the paint on that. Then my tiebreaker, I need to drop that from 84 points. Can I? Let's see. Yeah, let me drop that bet down to a good 50 burger. Yeah, we're gonna make that a 50 because Grandma's offense, and these two offenses that are kind of slow, and 50 might be too much. Man, let me 40. 40. 40. Yeah, since I can't get FAMU by 40, I'm gonna get 40 total points. And they might not score that many. So we're gonna submit our picks. We updated it. Y'all can see. So you saw it live. You can't say a brother didn't submit his picks. So there we go. I submitted the picks. We in. So I've given you my picks. We'll go back over it one more time for the one time so that everybody can see. So we got Morgan State, FAMU, Jackson State, Howard, and North Carolina Central. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If somebody's offering you even money, no spread, North Carolina Central all day. And I ain't gonna lie, the way that offense is moving, I need to see. I ain't on my bookie like that. But look, North Carolina Central about to have a brother gambling. I ain't gonna even lie to you. So yeah, but that's what we got today, man. Look, we're gonna see y'all post game, and look for your mans. Might be a little surprise, OSG Strike Zone's having their watch party. Might see somebody on the watch party. So if so, check their social pages, see what they're gonna do with that. We might do a little something too, join in with them. But HBCU Digital Network, this is home to her and the Black Techies, also home to the Fangs Up podcast, man. If you want to, if you're feeling so lovely, feel so inclined, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend about it, and let them know, look, this is the best place to hear about FAMU athletics from a person that's kind of I don't know why people want to say like, oh, I'm unbiased. No, I'm biased. I'm biased. All right. I try to take my bias out of it, but in actuality, I'm biased. But we're gonna come back. We're gonna do an instant reaction post game. Look, I know I left y'all hanging for homecoming. It was homecoming. I got caught up too. Like I got lost in the sauce just like you. But post game, we will definitely do an instant reaction, and then Sunday, 7:00, right back here, HBCU Digital Network. We'll be talking about how the game went, and are we going to Tallahassee for the SWAC championship? Look, I ain't even gonna lie. I got a personal request. If FAMU makes Celebration Bowl, can you play ATL? Look. All right, look. Let me pull it up on the cell phone right quick. I ain't gonna play it out loud because my mama might be listening. It's a song by Baby D. ATL, please. If you know, you know. But yeah, y'all can go on bump that and brag at the end of that game after SWAC championship. If the Rattlers win, play that right there loud so that the whole stadium get crunk, man. I promise you. All it has just look, 100. Look, Dr. Chipman. Y'all can add that to the repertoire. ATL. Never mind. I'm saved. Look, some of y'all was over there. Some of y'all was ready, like, oh, that was my cut right there. Like, you forgot you just got baptized last week. Oh, goodness. What Eddie Griffin say, if I wasn't a Christian? Oh, goodness. Anyways, again, HBCU Digital Network, this home to Herb Stewart, the Black Techies, also the Fangs Up podcast. Appreciate y'all for listening. And always, it's going to be Fangs Up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal.
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Dorsey, how